what I'd like to do is take you on a journey of the next project that I'm doing. Bike we're going to unwrap today is a Yamaha YZF1000, commonly what's known as the Thunder Ace. I haven't seen this in 5 years. It's been wrapped up like this in 5 years. I've just rolled it to this position. Can't remember a freaking thing about it, to be honest. Oh, got a free bag. This is not a barn find, right? Barn finds are fun, exciting. Again, you know, do you want to restore this thing? Has it been sitting out in a car shed for 25 years? You know, there's a lot of videos on hey, can I get this running? Well, you put enough time and effort and parts and replace stuff and yeah, sure, I can get anything running. All right, pulled stuff out of garden sheds and gardens that haven't been there for, you know, 20 or 30, 40 years and got it running. I mean, yeah, you can do that. Can you get it running as in, oh, I need to go to work today, I'm going to take the bike and ride through the traffic and have the bike at work and ride home again? Can you get it to that stage? Well, you know, they don't tend to look at that. You know, they say, oh, can we get it running? Oh, it's all exciting. Yeah, that's fine. But does it stop? Does it stop at the lights? Does it stay at the lights? Does it keep running? Can it take off again at the lights? Are the tyres going to blow out? A brake's going to completely fade because you haven't replaced the seals in the calipers, and the bike was made in 1925. Well, no. So what I'm interested in is showing you how to get something that's in a fairly good state, that just needs to be ticked over and still be club regible. It's got a broken bit of fairing here. As I said, I have ridden this. I rode it here about 5 years ago. It's interesting to know why the generator is painted red. It has markings on it. Looks like a spring may have been changed, or it might be the way they just are. Someone's added a carbon fibre kind of chain guard and guard to it. Has a brand new tyre, but it's probably 4 or 5 years old now. That's no good. Looks like it's got a carbon can on it as well. Looks like there might be some heat into that rear brake, but the thing I like is that everything's there. Plastics are pretty dull, but they're there. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the tank. It's got a sheen on it because of the WD that I sprayed on it. That's about it. Frame is complete. There's no problems. Compliances are there. These have a 5 valve per cylinder engine that was partly jointly ventured by Audi and Yamaha. Scratches on the silver paint. It doesn't seem to be right there. Oh yes, nice crack through here. Something in the bottom of the light there we'll have to have a look at. We get that light out. Tinted screen, Perkle. Why would you get in Perkle? But anyway, there you go. Front tyre is also brand new, but no good, so it's 5 years old. Discs are there, covered in WD. Calipers, hoses, all good. Forks, protectors on them, probably factory. Some of the oil seals we're looking at. Just this poor fitting here, and oh, we got some race tape. No good unless you got race tape. So that point of a fairing here, it's also cracked here. So that's one piece front. So at this stage I need a front and 2 sides by the looks of it. 35,000 Ks. That's where I left the key. Probably a good spot for it. The battery was taken out. Never store a bike with a battery in it. Just asking for trouble. Battery leaks out. Rust it. You're starting something that, you know, it's just going to cause you more drama. The seat off, have a look. Battery hole. Still got the tools. Looks like coolant bottle overflow there. As I said, I've taken the battery out. Had the tank off as well, and before I put it all away. Spares area. Let's do that. I wonder what that was for. Maybe for the jack. Only kidding. Looks like they've been out once or twice. Frame's nice. So it's not a bad position to start from. So all the way, already we need 3 different types of fairings or repair. Might be easier to repair, might be easier to replace. It depends if you can get that colour red. There are a couple of colours in these bikes. There's blue, there's a bright red, and there's this maroony colour. So they're not a very popular bike. A little bit underrated, to be honest. Lots of power from that 5 valve per cylinder. Lots of high end power. But you know, as a restorer or a novelty club bike, it's going to be perfect. I don't know if anyone else has got one. Not around near me. Anyway, so it's going to be a little bit interesting. We'll be going through a roadworthy process where the bike has to be roadworthy, has to be street legal. One of the things that we will do is go through some of the electrical looms just to make sure that nothing's broken, cracked or anything like that. It's just pure looking after yourself. I mean, you're going to ride it. You're going to want it to come back. You don't want it to fail halfway through something, you know, a nice ride, or you're going to start a ride and the bike won't start. Nothing worse than that, I can tell you. I've saved you from the noise of the compressor and my air-operated bike lift. I'm lucky enough to have one, a bike lift, but obviously, do a lot of bikes. You don't need one. You can actually do this with a jack or paddock stands, or you know, you sort of dedicate to work yourself on the rear and then on the front. Bike's stand obviously makes it a lot easier, gets it up to level height, especially if you're not old and geriatric like me. The more you look at it, the more I get interested in, but the more I see more details. This fairing looks very good. Remember, I'm kind of looking for a nice looking thing at the rear. No, I don't like the way that it's gapped. It might be just the way it's been put together. They are genuine fairings until I find out otherwise. Nothing's been changed. Stickering is good too, because don't forget, stickering can be hard to find, hard to replace. So that one looks fine. The belly pan, surprisingly enough, looks pretty good too. I love the Dunlop sticker. I'll have to leave that there. Again, I don't know why these are. There must be a. Must have been early anodised or something's put one on and they've faded off quite a bit. These nice fitment there. It's a little bit of a drama. Bit of dirt. Lovely. It's this one that's got the problem. The engine looks fantastic, as in pipes are not rusted. It looks like it's had some exhaust system. Now this is supposed to have the X-up valve in the exhaust. So what that means is that it has a butterfly in the exhaust, which is quite common on newer bikes. Back then it wasn't so common. It's supposed to open up at high RPM, basically to let the bike have a bit of back pressure for low power situations. Because being the 5 valve, it doesn't have a lot of power, or you can feel a lack of power at the bottom, but it'll spin because it's breathing a lot easier. Now, this fairing, unfortunately, it's pretty good on the outside. This top one, the medium one or middle one, or whatever you want to call it, but it has this missing section here. Which is freaking annoying, because there's not much really, but it's never going to meet up. I'd say it's supposed to be like that. We'll have a look when we get to the other side. It's supposed to fit across here. It doesn't even look like it's missing here. It's just missing this piece here. And again, the sticker, there's a little bit of a dent right here. Right there is a little crack too. That Makes me feel excited about getting rid of that one. And this top one here. Let's see if we can pull off that race tape. It's obviously put on there pretty good. Yeah, that whole section's missing. They did a nice job of that. Yeah, so that whole peak or corner section's missing. I don't think there's anything wrong with this top piece other than a bit of crack here, but if we had the bottom piece covering it, that's not going to be too much of a drama for me. Oh, and there's a switch. Wow, that's interesting. Why is there a switch? Anyway, thanks for drilling a hole in that. That's great. So it's obviously on or off. Yep, don't know why. We continue up here. It's got a crack right here as well. Right on this bolt here. So this obviously, the side, I'd say it's gone over. It hasn't really dragged anything. It's just probably fallen over, as bikes do, and just done 1, 2, 3 parts to it. So 1, 2, 3 damages to it just by falling over, which is why you don't have fairings on bikes, because they're just a freaking pain in the ass. But they make them look pretty as far as I'm concerned. So you just got to be careful. Let's have a look more around the front guard. After the drama, I went with getting the guard and everything for the ZX10. Held the build up like 4 or 5 weeks waiting for it, and when it got here it was cracked, so it had to be repaired as well, but it was still better than the one that was on there. So someone's put a radiator guard in there, which is good. When I put these straps on, I put them over the top triple clamp, using a fibre. Try not to trap anything. I've trapped a brake hose there, but it's not tight, so it's not going to cause any damage to it. It's more just to let it make it stay there. What have we got here? We know this one's gone already, so that's all right. And we know this one's gone because we've got a nice big crack around here, which is also super annoying. And yes, that's how that fits, so that's not too bad. This side is okay. I'm not sure if they're one piece. It looks like it might be one piece, of course. It goes up there and around. Goes up there and around. It's just all a bit dull because it's got WD still on it. The tank is perfect. There isn't a dent mark or anything on it. It's just a bit dull, which is really good, surprising, because it's usually the first thing you have to worry about. When I saw it, it's the first thing I looked at. I wasn't too worried about the side panels. Maybe I should have been, because I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go. This one's cracked anyway, so it does have some marks in it. I might be lucky enough to be able to get the 2 silver ones. I'm just a little bit concerned about getting the top one because of the colour. Now, the silver, obviously, is going to be pretty easy because they're all sort of like blue, silver and blue, or red, silver and red, or maroon, silver and maroon. So that's not too much of a drama, but who knows? How do you know? Looking inside again, looks fantastic. You know, I can't, other than the things. What's that? No, it's just a little bug or something. Yeah, it's a little bug. Other than the fairings, this thing is great. Completely fantastic. All the European people watching this video, you know, we don't salt our roads in Australia because we don't have to. So this is the result, you know. That's the result right there. And it's still got oil in it. I thought I'd drain the oil, but no, it left it. It's alright, still at the right level. It looks like it's still got the X-up valve manifold on it. I'm not sure if this is just a bolt-on slip-on. We'll do some research. I do know that it would be really loud with no baffle, but that'd be great. But, not so much for Vic roads, because unless you have the right pipe, you do not get a roadworthy. That's not to say that you don't have to, that you can't change it when you go back in, come out of the roadworthy and change it. Well, no, you're not allowed to legally, but of course that's exactly what we do. Ride back home and the seals are good. It had new tyres on it, so I'm wondering if they did the bearings as well, because he was doing it up for a roadworthy when I came across it, and I'd say that's just a little bit of WD. Adjustments on the thing you're getting into. On the older bikes, you just don't get adjustments on the rear shock, or very little. ZX10's got an air shocker in it. You put a little bit of air in it to set your preload, and you've got a 3-stage dampener. This has obviously got height as well as the preload, as well as there's maybe a fluid tank or an air tank as well, separate. Not sure where that goes. That's going to be interesting to find out. Oh, I think I just found it. Right there. Right there. So it goes up to a damper. So, yeah, it's obviously well suspensioned. What's that in here? That's a bit... No, it's a leaf. We'll just leave that alone. But yeah, anyway, I can't really see any other drama. I hate that fucking purple screen. That shits me to tears, that does. It just does not suit. I'm wondering if it's just old tint that's just gone purple or whatever, but it's not fucking staying there, I'm telling you that now. I hate it. Hate it. Anyway, what else have you got? Front brakes, they look pretty good. Actually, pads look fucking brand new. Doesn't mean that these seals have been done though. Although, I mean, it is really hard to tell because those calipers are absolutely freaking spotless. The rotors are spotless again. See, England? What happens when you don't salt your roads? It's amazing, you know. Canada, hey? Canada, right? You don't salt your roads, you don't kill your equipment. We don't have that issue. Please, feel free, come to Australia. You can get things like this that are 30 years old and friggin' as spotless as this. This is a really good find for someone who just wants to get it up onto the road for a bit of fun. And that's on the inside. it looks like condensation on the video. It looks like some sort of crazing or something. Oh no, here we go. Look at that. It's a protector. I didn't know that. Look at that. It's got a headlight protector on it. I was a bit concerned we were going to have to pull the whole headlight apart just to be able to see what we're looking at. Look at that. That'll come off. Yeah, I mean, it's well and truly on there, but as you can see, it's just a protector. Now it's great. That means it'll come up nice and shiny, which is what we want. Damn that screen. That's horrible. Horrible. But yeah, pretty well pleased. This is going to come up as a treat. It's going to be fairly easy. I know it runs well. After a carby overhaul, after the stuff that we do to it, it's going to be reliable. I like those blue spots. But I'll do some research on these fairings and see what's available. And we'll go from there. That's strange, isn't it? I think it's just a boot cover or something. It's a protector. Another one of those sticky protectors I don't like. Look at that. I don't know if it's genuine or not, but I don't like it. It's not going to stay there. But yeah, the YZF Thunder Ace, they call it over in Europe. They normally have a Thunder Ace here. They didn't call it here, they just called it a YZF1000. Now, YZF1000, this is the predecessor to the R1. This is the model they made before the R1. As they were doing the R1, the last of these came out. These took over from the FZR1000, which had the X-Up exhaust on it as well. Which are prone to fail, to be honest. Apparently the little actuator here is prone to fail. And again, yeah, it's probably because Europe salt their roads. What can I say? And it probably just corrodes out. Carburetor version of the R1. Which was a phenomenal bike of its time. FZR was a phenomenal bike of its time, just underrated in Australia. FZRs are going for big money at the moment. I know there's one guy's trying to sell one on Facebook Marketplace. I would love, because it's a beautiful looking bike. I just can't get anything that's been rebuilt, because one, I have major trust issues with anyone. The other is that there's no fun in it. I like to get these things hoping to be able to put them together, get it on the road, and have an alternative to my H2 and my ZX10 to ride, and that's pretty much what I want it for.